All right, we're back, and we're back at our little practicing spot. I'm going to try out some stuff on the Grom. The idea is to use some Handbrake today, or at least do some drills to use Handbrake eventually. But I'm going to warm up the bike first, and it's a little cool. We had a cool front come in. We had a cool front come in last night, and I don't think it's quite 70 degrees. And the wind's blowing out of the north, but we got a little bit of sunshine, so the idea here is to start using our Handbrake. And I'm just trying to show here, I'm trying to develop a little bit of muscle memory. And I'm going to be using my middle finger to operate the Handbrake. But just to kind of get some of the, I don't know, butterflies out of my stomach of attempting this, I'm going to do a few set downs first with foot brake, just to kind of get some normalcy on it. But again, my bike's real cold, and the idea is to warm it up first. But I'm also warming me up. And kind of like what we talked about before, it's kind of a hard angle to show it. But I'm just tapping the rear brake just like I would be with my foot brake, but I'm doing it with my middle finger. So I'm just going through saying, hey, this is how we're going to do this. The key thing that I'm thinking about here is if I'm going to go totally Handbrake, it's going to be a little uncomfortable for me because there's a transition in my movements of my left hand here. Because I'm going to have to pop the clutch. I have to pop the clutch and be ready for that Handbrake. So my thought is it could be too far away. But we're going to see. We're going to see here real quick. I'm going to do a few familiarization runs here with foot brake. That's a good way to start off. Okay. Oh, this is kind of sloped off towards this direction. We've got a little community garden over here, and I talked to some of these people that were over here working and announced myself. Said, hey, I'm just going to be over here riding my bike. I really slowed it down on that one. Part of me is thinking if I could just do normal foot brake stuff and maybe start using Handbrake as well rather than trying to do too much all at once. I have a relatively short course here. I'm going to have foot brake covered, and we'll see. Okay, so I used my index finger, so I made a mistake there, but it was still a rep. I made the effort to use it, so I think I may need to rotate this Handbrake up. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, it's really unfamiliar. I'm not going to give up on it because just instinctually, my index finger reached for it. Yeah, it's out of reach for me. After I pop it, I've got to remember to keep it into place. Yeah, that's so unfamiliar territory for me. This is going to take some serious work. I think it may be rotated a little too deep. I think I said that already. I don't want to be developing bad habits here because my index finger went right for it. So I think part of my problem is it being out of reach, but because of my habits of what I normally do, just using foot brake alone. So I'm going to go back and not try to use any handbrake for now. And it feels so comfortable on this bike to do that now. But if I were to, gosh, I need it closer. I'm going to see if I can make an adjustment and I'll come back to you guys. All right, we're back, and this is going to take some serious work. I'm really conflicted on doing this. I'm almost feeling like I almost need to move these bars closer or something. I've got to find a way to make this dexterity, or learn this dexterity to do this. And these old shadows are getting long. We're going to do a foot brake just to see if I can develop something here. Okay, and I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to get my middle finger out of there, but I think this is just kind of like learning to get your foot brake, your foot on the foot brake. It's not something that comes naturally. See, instead of thinking about the wheelie, I'm thinking about trying to move my finger because my finger wants to stay on that bar bad. And I'm just using foot brake here. I mean, I did the work to learn to save myself. Oh yeah, I thought I heard a motorcycle. To learn where the foot needs to be. And this is so foreign. And I think that my physiology and the dexterity that I've learned over the years has guarded me and is going to be in the way of learning this. And I'm just trying to feel here, how do I have to move my middle finger? I don't like it. That's the truth of the matter is I don't like it there. I like it where my finger is around the bar. But we're going to do some practice runs here. And keeping my finger out. I don't like it. I don't freaking like it. And let me focus on what I'm talking about here. Oh gosh, this is, if there's like something that makes you feel secure, this isn't one of them. And I'm going to try to lean over here. What I'm wanting to do, and I'm trying to show you from my perspective here, I'm wanting to be here and there, but also I'm moving my body. It's like these bars, if I can move these bars closer to me, I don't know if that's going to help or not. And again, when I'm standing up, those might be in the right angle, because the goal is to either put a foot, we got something on my seat there, gross. But the goal is to either be standing on and double pegging, or put the foot back here, or stand on the seat or something. Eventually, once we've developed this, and realistically, my position may be more, I'm standing to the side here like this, and that would be, my hands would be slightly rotated into a more adequate position for using Handbrake. I don't know. I'm going to keep rolling just so we can document. But gosh, it feels so uncomfortable. It's like I got to move my hand over. And I'm not trying to pop it up, by the way, here. This is just strange. It's just such a strange feeling. But it was a strange feeling on my friend's bike, who had full levers or a larger RSC on his DRZ, and he had hand guards on it. And so I figured it out, And what I'm kind of feeling, instead of having like a straight on hand, I'm almost tempted to be rotated off to the side here. Kind of like, if for us in the road racing, and if I was using throttle hand in a corner, we almost want to point the elbow out, okay? So when we're going into a corner, and still give it the throttle, and we call it the screwdriver. So if we're leaned over, we're putting some counter steering pressure on it, but we're able to rotate instead of being straight on and trying to pinch the grip, if it were, as it were. We're cheating the elbow out. It's hard to say, but this is how I clutched up the really closed off area on my friend's DRZ. So let's see if I can just do a simple foot brake with it over here like this. Okay, I can pop it up, so that's okay. It still feels foreign. Sorry, Grom. This feels unnatural to me. Dang it. And you might have noted that I had gripped in an unusual way here. And these people I think they're going to the community garden as well. Hello. Or they may be just turning around. But This screwdriver technique almost seems like it's a way to give me room without moving this stuff over. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it's like this. Maybe if that clutch was farther over that direction. Do you see what I mean? Because for my, it seems like I got plenty of room, but see, my finger or my pad of my hand is all the way at the end. This is unusual. And meanwhile, the only thing that I'm holding on to is with my pinky and my ring finger, and there's just not a lot to hang on to, and it's just uncomfortable. So it's just really, it's just as if I moved this over to where it's almost into contact with the master. I can't. I'd have to move it all over. I don't know. I might go back to square one. I don't know. Oh, God. I'm thinking too much. When I'm thinking too much, stuff like that happens. And I'll just go back and reiterate here. This is, I'm around a bunch of houses, and I've got a stock exhaust. I am not bothering any of these people. I'm in an area where there's a lot of noise. There's trains and stuff. Good grief. See, I'm getting inside of my head now. And this may be mental fatigue. So I just said screw it and went ahead and used index finger, which I shouldn't have. I don't want to get into bad habits. My wheelie coach specifically said he uses middle finger, and I didn't do it. But I mean, I'm still going to count this as a little bit of a win, because I did in fact use it, and that was pretty deep in the wheelie. So it just kind of is what it is at this point. Yeah. Body position was off. I might have to get off of this bike for a minute. Shadows are getting long though. Totally foot brake. You gotta force that finger off of there, Dewey. You gotta force it off. Oh God, I got it into position. But I leaned forward with my body. We gotta take a couple laps. All right, I was able to rotate it up a little bit, and it feels like it's a little bit more in reach. I just don't want to have my index finger get too close. I don't want it to get too close to the handbrake lever, so I'm just refamiliarizing myself. It's rotated up, and I think that's going to work. What do you say we make an attempt? I'm going to put my visor down because we're going to have some wind noise. Again, I've never done this before. The handbrake, it still feels... It still feels natural for me to reach with my index finger, and that's not a good thing. man, I really need to use the middle finger. Because I'm so accustomed to just wrapping it back around. I'm so used to having it wrapped around the bar for stability and just my own comfort that this is kind of becoming an issue. I have a firm feeling that this is just is a matter of developing muscle memory. The big thing is not to get impatient. Yeah, this handbrake is much stronger. It's a Brembo. Both the handbrake and the foot brake caliper are Brembo calipers, and this is a Brembo Master. This is not what I set up, but it'll lock up the rear quite easily if I panic, so it's very important to understand. Well, I'll call it a limited success because, again, I thought about it, but I just did not use my middle finger. Dang it, this is going to really plague my brain. I think it's a matter of getting this adjustment right. Let's try again. All right, we're back, and I made just another adjustment here, and I have a feeling that what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to really play with this adjustment, potentially even moving my clutch perch over to the right even more. And it's not wanting to move. This thing is really secured. So I might even have to rotate it up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to focus right now on doing some reps riding with my middle finger extended, and also keeping the index finger on the clutch, which I see a lot of stunners do. This is absolutely a new movement, so that makes sense to me why this is so foreign. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on here. Gosh, that feels so wacky. Like Yoda said, you have to unlearn what you've learned. Okay, I had a success. I had my foot on the foot brake, but what brought us down was the middle finger on the handbrake. So we got to celebrate those victories. I'm thinking about it too much now. My body position was off, and I think I had a little bit of an adrenaline rush there. So, and forgive me, we've got our visor up because I just kind of benefit from that airflow. All right, I used a combination of foot brake and handbrake there because I just wasn't quite sure if I'd get back to it in time. I don't want to get into the habit of that. Or do I? Yep. Thinking too much. Yeah. It may be about time for a break because I've been working on this solidly on and off the camera. Oh, sorry, Grom. That was all foot brake, by the way. I just need to get a few of them to get my confidence back up. Yeah, I see what it is now. My muscle memory has me wanting to close that middle finger and to release it once it's already around is so foreign. So I'm going to think about it off camera here for a little bit and we'll get back to you. Okay, we're going to try to continue on here. You can see our shadows are getting long again. Yeah, rear brake is strong on the handbrake. It's strong on the foot brake too. But what I needed was a brake. No pun intended. Yeah, wind's kind of blowing around here. Just try pulling her up. Oh, it is grumpy. Good grief. What was up with that? Probably just a hand slow release. All right, so this is teaching me that much more to be loose with my grip. It's starting to try to get cool on me. What's this crap? I'm sorry, Grom. Man, it seems like I'm saying sorry to my Grom. See, I was trying to chase this out a little bit to get back up to close to balance. And oh, God. It wasn't a pretty one, but again, I used my handbrake to take me down, so I'm giving it a success. Oh! Is my clutch getting tired? Did you see how it just kind of lurched up? That's foot brake. That's handbrake. Okay. I'm getting used to it. It's a different feel. All handbrake. Ooh. Okay. We're getting close to being done doing the handbrake stuff because I think that learning this new motion, just like anything else that you're not used to doing, I'm in really good shape, but I'm not in real good handbrake shape. Okay. We'll get a few more in. still positive reps. It's positive reps. Because I took it down with my rear brake. With my hand rear brake. I tapped rear foot brake on that one. Fatigue is a real thing, friends. Let's take a couple laps. Yeah, I'm moving my hand in ways in which I never have before. I can feel parts of my forearm fatiguing, but I'm engaging it, and just like working out, I'm learning a muscle memory. It's literally what it is. How are you going to get good at using a range of motion if you don't practice using it? And today wasn't just practicing using it. I actually used it. And, what seems good on paper, in theory, when I was coming up, first starting what I've shared on this video, has morphed into my learning method for this, and we've gotten some success. Okay. That was fully handbrake. Now, when I say fully handbrake, I used rear brake, foot brake to load the suspension. Okay. And I'm trusting it now. I'm trusting it now. Transitioned. It gripped too hard. What I mean by trusting it is, instead of having that little bit of pressure on the foot brake, I'm hovering it when I'm deciding to use it. I think there's a possibility that I'll have time to engage it in case I make a mistake and don't hit the handbrake, or it malfunctions possibly. I don't know if my reaction time will be good enough. This is all really good progress, because again, all handbrake there. Again, you're not going to chase out a Grom. Sorry. I mean, I think some that have like some actual power mods on them. But I'm going to be annoying the shit out of people, so I don't want to do that. Oh gosh, my timing was all off. See, that's one of those things, is it's not just a physical game, it's a mental game. And that was a mental error. I was almost late on the draw. Okay. I think that's about it for today. This is really taxing. So, what did we learn? This thing isn't just there for decoration anymore. Brimbo! But yeah, we learned something. Thanks, Grom. Thanks for watching.